podcast. We got myself, Dean Rude. We got Steve Thrifty, and of course, we got Big Country. Guys, I'm asked one question. I know the answer. I'm gonna go ahead and ask it. Are you ready for Step Brothers
Yes,
Live?
baby.
Yeah.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's another fun-filled week. It's a big week. It's possibly the biggest week in WWE history ever.
Ever.
We debuted on
Ever.
Raw. We debuted Raw on Netflix this last Monday, and let me tell you, they said it was going to be WrestleMania level. They were not lying.
And you know what? I'm gonna I'm gonna expand on that a little bit. I'm gonna be a killjoy or a bit of a killjoy. I'm gonna say it was a lot like WrestleMania in the sense that what we got was what was it, four really good matches
And it was all really expected.
and a whole bunch of bullshit. A whole bunch of
Mhm.
corporate talk from The Rock.
Oh man, that dude
The
was jibber jabbering.
seemingly the putting to rest the idea of a match of him and Cody Rhodes, and maybe even the idea of a match of him and Roman.
Nope.
We had the Undertaker come out on his bike for no reason.
Mommy.
Uh, we had Hulk Hogan get booed out of the arena. We had Travis
Boy got
Scott smoking a
booed.
joint. Um,
Bro, it had hit kids' faces that smoke, man. Come on.
yeah,
Dude,
I
I
guess
can't believe they allowed that to happen.
to me
but
either.
in spite of all that, we did get some really good quality shit here, and I appreciated it for what it was. I'm not going to go in this whole thing being negative. Like, it was a history-making moment for WWE, and all things considered, it was a really good episode of Raw too.
Fucking Tanner. I mean,
You
no
know,
one's
Jay
gonna
Uso
forget
thought
that.
about hitting it.
Jay was like fighting every urge in his body to
He's like,
smoke that
It was
joint.
like eating
Like,
to itself. It was yeet,
don't
yeet.
do it. Don't do it. What a
probably
good
so.
episode of Raw, though, man. It was fucking insane. It really was fucking insane. Like
Yeah,
those drone shots throughout the arena, that was crazy, dude.
Mhm.
yeah. I
It was good.
mean,
The Punk and Rollins match was good. It was short. It was sweet. It was to the point.
we
It
opened with
told a
Tribal
really good
Combat,
story.
which I
Open
thought
with
was
Tribal Combat.
that was a surprise in my
I
opinion.
didn't think it was that much of a surprise personally because I kind of figured Punk and Rollins were gonna headline.
Well, it's like we mentioned last week. Too many times have we had a match that should have headlined that didn't because of bloodline business,
Yeah,
and that was my thought going in. But granted, there were shenanigans, but they
there were
were
shenanigans.
expected shenanigans. There
Yeah,
was
it's
no
Tribal
big
Combat.
Yeah, there was no big surprise. There wasn't The Rock turning. There wasn't a debut or a return or anything of the like. It was just relatively straightforward. For being what it was.
Yeah.
We got interference from Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. I guess Tongaloa fucked off.
Yeah.
Well, he's fucked
I
up
think he was
right
hurt
now.
from the War
He's
Games
hurt. He
match,
got
too,
hurt
huh?
in War Games. Yeah, he's
Oh,
out
okay.
for like 6 months.
Oh, damn. Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
damn. I thought he just went and fucked off because it's been all
No,
about.
he's legitimately hurt.
It looks better without him, though, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. Like, these two are the only two in the new bloodline that I really take any degree of seriously to begin with. Um, Tama Tonga is not bad for the most part,
Yeah.
A
but
little goofy, but he gets the job done,
the goofiness is the appeal, in my opinion. He shows a little bit of character work. Like, what the fuck has Tongaloa done? Um, but obviously,
Not
Jacob
wrong.
Fatu is the shining star of that group, with or without Solo. They picked up a big win tonight on SmackDown.
They did.
And I mean, they didn't fucking pin Cody, but they beat Cody,
Yeah.
in the history books, as they say.
Yep. That's what matters. Win's
Yeah.
a win's a win.
I just see no
Didn't
love,
he?
though.
Didn't he yell? Did he yell "I love you" Solo at one point when he was on the ring post? No.
Don't
I don't
know.
I don't believe
I don't
so.
recall.
Okay.
I don't
I
think he
thought he
said it
did.
tonight.
Well, like I said earlier, there's consequences to losing.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
what this
that's what was said.
that's what Solo said, and if you follow Solo, why not fucking listen to Solo, right?
I mean, he loves him. He loves
Solo's
you.
going to find out next Friday that there's consequences to losing.
Yeah. So I just wonder what that means. Like, obviously, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga are still hanging out. So are these guys still a faction, when Tongaloa comes back, the three of them, like, are they still together?
I think Tongaloa is probably going to get cut, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that. Like
I
I
don't
was
I don't
saying,
want to say that, but I think it's true.
I mean, he's been pretty
He's been the least
inconsequential since
contributing
he-
factor of that
Yeah.
whole equation.
Like
So,
Tama Tonga, like I said, with his charisma and his personality that he's shown, he's gotten over in that regard. I again, it sucks to say these kinds of things. I don't know if he would have really stood out too much otherwise.
yeah.
Especially like I said, being in the faction with Jacob Fatu. But I think it was necessary that these guys came in just for the story that they told that I feel like is pretty wrapped up now with Roman and Solo. Like,
Yeah.
obviously Roman is moving on. I
Mhm.
don't know
The
what
next
future
chapter in the
holds.
Bloodline story is the fallout between Solo and his bloodline. So,
Yeah. We got Roman declaring for the Rumble.
Yeah, we got John Cena, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns all declared for the Rumble. Which,
2014.
yeah,
All over again.
which that's really the meat and the potatoes of what we're getting into right now. And I started off talking a little bit negatively about Raw, and honestly, it's just me getting impatient. If I'm being completely honest with myself, what is bothering me right now is how close we are to the Rumble without a whole lot of indication of what to expect at the Rumble.
mhm.
And I know we're getting there. I know they got 3 weeks left to build it up, but at this point, it bothers me that I don't have a real prediction. What I kind of think as far as the Rumble, I feel like is kind of a shot in the dark at this point.
Yeah.
We're going to get a lot of development in these next couple of weeks, and a lot of
Yeah.
that is going to depend on Raw. I think the winner from the Rumble comes from Raw or is John Cena. So
Yeah, and
I feel like I have to be Cena after the freaking promo I saw.
after the promo, it has to be Cena.
okay, I'm
I
going to say
think-
with that, and this is actually extremely fucking obvious, but you go one of two directions. And to me, it's you give him the Rumble the Rumble or Elimination Chamber win.
The
You
same goes for CM Punk.
well, basically what I'm saying is you give him one of those big wins and you have him win the world title at WrestleMania, or you stretch that out and you make that like the main point of the retirement tour, if that makes sense, like him chasing it the whole time.
I mean, I think that would be awesome for him to get 17 at Survivor Series next year.
Yeah.
I think that's
That'd be dope.
really the way to do it because that's the last pay-per-view of the year. So give it to him at Survivor Series, and he walks away right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that opens up there's a whole can of worms with this John Cena thing. You know what I mean? Because I think a big thing, and you certainly touched on one of the possibilities, is like, what is his last match?
Mm-hmm.
That's arguably the most important part of this whole chapter, apart from him possibly winning the 17th championship. John Cena's last opponent is going to be a very big deal.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of good ways that you could go with that. Obviously, you could go with like Randy Orton or CM Punk. You could
Randy Orton and John Cena had the best fucking feud.
At Survivor Series, that'd be the freaking shit.
You could do.
You could go so many ways though. You could do
you could have him put over somebody new. You could have him like get his ass kicked by Gunther.
Yeah, like running off the torch type of stuff.
I think the passing of the torch should be him and Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
Oof.
That's
That
how
ain't bad.
Braun Breaker
That's
gets
another
the
good
first
direction.
world title. Man,
Yep.
that is some straight up fantasy booking.
Yeah, I mean, in essence, that's certainly one of the ways that you build a star right there. And I agree with you on it being Braun Breaker, but realistically, over the course of the whole year, it could be a lot of people. And I don't know. That's certainly one direction to take it. And I think all of these things are going to happen at some point during the year. It's just a matter of which one happens when, because you're going to have the dream matches that we lived through already. Like Punk and Orton. Probably a lot that we're not even thinking of.
Mhm.
You're going to have the matches with the younger talent. You're going to have somebody beat the shit out of him. And hopefully and likely, I think he's going to win the world championship for the 17th time.
Mm-hmm. Had to be at Mania. He has to win the Rumble. The only thing that makes sense to me. Right now, at least today, at least.
Like I said, I talked about it last week. I like the idea of John Cena winning the Rumble.
I think it's a great idea.
He would be tied with Stone Cold as the only person to win 3 Royal Rumbles. And I don't know. I feel like what? I feel like in the Triple H era, we've just been breaking all the records. And I think it's a nice homage to Stone Cold to not break his record, but have it tied.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down for a tie.
Because fuck Ric Flair, I think, is
Seriously.
kind of the general consensus of everything.
Yeah, Ric Flair needs to fuck off. He's got one
I hope
more.
he's really not. I hope he's not at the Rumble.
Die.
I heard reports he's supposed to be at the
There's
Rumble.
no point in him showing up, man. Like, I
There's
understand.
no point.
If he shows up at the Rumble, it'll be in the audience because Triple H isn't going to sign off on something like that.
John Cena's here. This motherfucker doesn't need to be coming out.
After the way that the Hulk got booed on Monday night, it is a serious shot in the dark if he ever lets any of those older guys do it again.
All right.
Well, I think it's kind of unique to Hogan and Flair, if you ask me. I think
It
a lot
really
of these,
is, and I think
a
it's
lot of
kinda
these older
stupid.
guys are mostly well liked and haven't overstayed their welcome.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing for Hogan to show up at WrestleMania. He's done it almost every year for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Why? That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Why? We don't need you. And at this point, the universe don't even want you there. They
Yeah.
booed
They
that
made
man
that,
out of the building on Monday night.
yeah. They made that loud and clear.
Yeah, it doesn't get worse than that.
Yeah.
Can we talk
Netflix
about something else?
debut.
And I think the same thing would happen to Ric Flair at this point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'd get booed out of the building, man.
Yeah, because I don't see any good videos of him like anywhere any day
He
now.
looks horrible, man.
Yeah, like, I've seen him like getting arguments with bartenders.
Yeah.
That was
freaking-
pretty recent. That was like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking customers at bars. I don't see it. They just need to pause.
Talk
for
about how
cause.
good Jimmy Hart looks for being 81 years old.
That shit's insane.
That's
That
fucking nuts.
motherfucker is a vampire, dude.
You would have never had me guessing that Jimmy Hart was that fucking old.
Mm-mm.
Saw something Hulk Hogan thinks they're really trying to boo Jimmy Hart instead of him.
That makes sense for what we know of Hulk Hogan. Like, that's another thing is he's
He's a fucking prick, man.
yeah.
Mhm.
He never wanted to fucking help anybody else out. It was never, oh yeah, brother, let's put you over. No, fuck you. I'm not putting you over. That was it every
So-
time. He never wanted to lose
so-
the belt.
Always had creative control.
I get to plug one of my favorite matches here and tell a story that I remember reading at one point. I don't know how true this is. Again, it's just a story I read. But one of my favorite matches was at SummerSlam. I think it was 2006 between Hulk Hogan and Shawn Michaels. And if you watch this match, Shawn Michaels just oversells the fuck out of everything Hulk Hogan does. Like Hogan punches him and he like goes flying back. And it's clearly making Hulk Hogan like really fucking mad. And it's just so over the top and just absolutely ridiculous. And he makes it look like every time Hogan even like touches him, it's like murder.
That's hilarious.
I did it on purpose.
And he did. And of
definitely.
course Hulk Hogan
I mean,
wins
like,
that match.
asshole.
Yeah, Hogan wins the match. And the story that I read online once says that when they brought Hogan back in to feud with Shawn Michaels, the original idea was a three-match series. Hogan was going to win the first one. Shawn Michaels was going to win the second one. And then Hogan was going to win the last one. And Shawn Michaels was apparently all right with this. He agreed to it. He wanted to feud with Hogan and do all this. And then Hogan went behind his back and talked to Vince and made it to where they were only going to have one match and Hogan was going to win.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Sounds like him.
That's some fucking
It sounds
stupid
exactly
shit
like
Hulk
him.
Hogan would do.
Yeah. And he comes out there to shill his fucking beer that probably tastes like shit.
I did. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was not good.
Yeah.
This
And
is the
fucking
only
took
case
3
of beer
lines,
in my
3
house
hours.
that will never get opened. Ever.
I got one of them bad boys. I got
I
open.
have zero faith that it tastes even half as good as Keystone Light.
Like I got a picture with Hulk Hogan, but after Monday, I don't even want to tell nobody anymore, bro.
You're like, I got a picture with Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell him that. Like it's not even impressive that I got a picture with freaking Hulk Hogan anymore after he fucking wanted to come out Netflix, get booed. Just stay your ass at home, old man.
That's not his fault. It's not his fault that the people booed him, but it's hilarious. I mean, it probably is his fault, but whatever.
No, it's his fault.
Yeah, it's his
But
fault.
here's the thing: he's made remarks. He's done all sorts of dumb shit the last 4 years.
Yeah,
4 or 5
oh,
years.
yeah.
That's fair.
But I don't know. I think it's pretty telling that like even when The Rock was out there fucking regurgitating fucking corporate bullshit, like even he wasn't getting booed.
Yeah.
They're
Nobody-
actually like cheering him.
Nobody would dare boo the Undertaker, even though
He
he
all
came out
fucked
there
up.
for fucking 10
Because
seconds.
the Undertaker shows up once a year, doesn't say a fucking thing, rides out on a Harley, rides right the
Exactly.
fuck back out.
Exactly. He's not there promoting his
Not
fucking
hello,
motorcycle.
He's not there talking about his fucking podcast. He's not there putting on a show for his fucking beer. He's not out there being a piece of shit. He goes
Yeah.
out, rides his Harley, puts his fist in the fucking air with Rhea Ripley, and goes home.
Yeah.
Like I'm out.
Peace.
Sniff y'all later.
And again, I just think it helps that historically, like I don't know, you never hear anything bad about the Undertaker. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
and as long as he
Never
was,
went
he's a
to
good
business
old
for
boy,
himself.
man.
yeah, and as long as he was in the company, like there was never any controversies. Now that he's fucking retired, he's just a fucking goofy ass boomer on the internet. Like, come on, man. Nobody's gonna boo the man, and
Rightfully so.
yeah. And fucking, I don't know. It saddens me in a way that Hogan, like fucking Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair too, like objectively 2 of the most important people in the history of wrestling, have fallen to such an extent where fucking Ric Flair is trying to hawk his fucking mushroom energy drinks in AEW. And Hulk Hogan is fucking shilling a shitty beer and getting booed out of the arena on the Netflix debut. Like that sucks. That's legitimately like piss fucking poor.
Mm-hmm. They in the 80s they were the man. In the 90s they were the man. In the 2000s they were the man. And
But now, see,
not
I'm
20
glad. I am glad though that like I feel like most of the legends, that we give a shit about, and especially the people of today, seem like they're at least a little fucking better than that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like most of the people outside of Logan Paul who get booed, just get booed because that's what's supposed to happen, and not because they're fucking pieces of shit.
He doesn't even get booed that bad,
which is crazy to me. Because I don't know. I was saying this to somebody, and this is real shit. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, chat. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I just am unaware. These motherfuckers, Logan and Jake Paul, they're so famous, right? Like they're very, very fucking famous. Everybody knows who they are. I've never heard anybody say that they're a fan of them.
Yeah, no.
Not once.
Just
Yeah.
And I'm just
the
like,
prime drinkers.
dude, I'll drink a prime and fuck them. Like,
all right, never mind.
I don't know. Like, everybody who I've ever heard speak of them on the internet, like everybody seems to be of the opinion that they're fucking douchebags.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did you get famous if nobody likes you?
Guess the trends they got to do. I guess I don't know.
True, bruh. One thing we haven't talked about that happened on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else.
Monday Night Mommy.
Oh yes, we got new women's world champions everywhere.
Mommy is always on top, boys.
Yeah.
Especially this time.
Man.
She did some things to Liv, man. I saw.
She murdered her.
Yeah, I
That's the only thing I saw.
She fucking killed her, dude.
Fucking she
Mhm.
killed Dirty Dom too. Fuck
Looks
her.
like she molested her at one point.
Dirty Dom's not coming back from that. So,
He's coming back face one day.
so do you think Liv's going to be pissed that he tried to hug Rhea?
Oh yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
have some fallout.
That's when he's gonna turn face somehow. They're gonna
And I
do
think
the little thingy.
I think
I didn't mean to
all
do
of
that.
them are about to turn face, except for Finn. Like Finn's about to go mega heel,
Oh yeah, I can see
and
it.
JD is gonna fall off the face of the earth, and Carlito's gonna get fired because he's got nothing going on.
Dude, no,
Dom's
you know what?
gonna.
It's
He
going to
lasted
the
this
point for
long.
me where Carlito is an essential part of the Judgment Day.
Well, the Judgment Day's about to be done. Is the problem.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's he
I
gonna do? Go back to Ray?
oh,
I
come
hope
on.
not.
I don't wish that on any Latino wrestler.
I mean,
He needs to retire next year.
Yeah, he needs to have a retirement tour like John Cena.
2026. Last year, Ray. I'll be fucking
Oh,
excited.
I was talking about Carlito.
you have to be
Oh, I'm talking about Ray. My bad.
Ray needs to
Rey
retire next
Mysterio
week.
should have done that 5 years ago.
Yeah, Ray
Yeah,
needs
that's
to retire
true.
next week. No disrespect to a legend, but I'm just tired of it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray needs to go. He's got nothing going on. He still puts on good matches. I get it, but like, it's over. Like, Magic's over.
Now speaking
Go
of
hold on, man.
luchadors,
We got a new one coming.
yep, the best luchador according to the narrative that they started on Raw.
Mhm.
Penta's gonna break Chad Gable's fucking arm.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did it that way.
This is gonna fucking break Chad Gable's face.
It's gonna be awesome, dude.
Let me tell you.
I look forward to what Penta does. I just hope he doesn't get wrapped up in all the bullshit.
Right? Like
Yeah,
when
I'm really sick
Andrade
of all the
did it.
luchadors getting wrapped up in the same fucking storylines. It's all the same.
Yeah.
Like they do the same
Well,
shit on
that's-
SmackDown as they do on Raw, and vice versa. which
He needs
is-
to be like Andrade, but on Raw.
Yeah,
You know,
and I think that's the right move. And
I think he
that's
should be
what they'll do.
competing for the Intercontinental title pretty soon.
It shouldn't take long.
No. I think
Yeah.
he's going to show up, and I think he's going to really impress. I think Penta might even get bigger, at least for a small amount of time. I think he's like a little bit older. Like I think he might be in his like early 40s, maybe late 30s.
Yeah, I think you're
I think,
right.
like early 40s, late 30.
But you know, he with as good as he is, he realistically might break some ground in his time in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he looks sick, man.
Oh, he's always had the fucking coolest look I've just about ever seen on a luchador before.
Yep.
And him and Ray Phoenix, you know, as a tag team, you know, and I've only seen their work in AEW. I know that they are like phenomenons in Mexico, but you know, some of the best tag team work that I've seen, like they were a really incremental part of early AEW and kind of like
Yeah.
establishing them as being the place that had fucking crazy banger ass matches.
Yeah.
So, and rumor has it Ray Phoenix is not incredibly far behind.
Yeah.
Right there.
What?
We cooking.
What are we doing?
We cooking
What are we cooking?
with gas. I don't know.
Oh, we cooking with Crisco now. Is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were making some chicken fried steak or something.
Maybe later.
That sounds really
There's some crypto cross faces, you know.
No.
I think Daniel Bryan calls it the
LaBelle lock.
LaBelle lock. I was like, I can't remember. Yeah, it's the same move as what Drew was saying.
Really can't.
That guy
believe
Chris
that-
Benoit does something different.
Is it
I
that
really
time
can't
was?
believe that Brian Danielson is disrespecting Chris Benoit that way.
For real, bro.
It's that part of the podcast, huh?
That way, like slowly immerse into it instead of just
Well,
jumping
it
into
wasn't
it.
that slow. You brought up the crippler cross.
It was pretty fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was out of left
It was
field.
pretty fast.
One day I'm just gonna merge.
You took
I'm not
your
just gonna
time
jump-
getting there, but once you got there, it was like, oh, hey, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we
I
might as well.
really just said Chris Benoit.
We're
Yeah.
trying to merge to it.
Oh God. Fucking retarded. Oh,
All I
shit.
know is I'd be a better father than him.
That's not hard.
Not hard.
That's why I'm just.
That's
Not
one of the
hard.
easiest things to do.
So I can guarantee some things, but I know I can guarantee that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean that's like
I ain't got no kids, but I'm a better father than Chris Benoit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's the easiest fucking thing in the world you can do.
It's like I'm not even a father. I'm a better father than him already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where to go. I don't even know where to go from there.
So this coming week on Monday Night Raw, we got the match that we've been waiting for a couple weeks. The Women's Intercontinental Championship match.
That's right.
Lyra versus Dakota.
And Dakota's gonna win, I think.
Dakota is going to win. And if she doesn't, I'm not going to be mad.
No,
But
I'm not either.
I don't think that that's how this works out.
Yeah, no, I would prefer that Dakota wins,
Mhm.
but at the same time, a Lyra win wouldn't be disappointing either. It's just more so I predict a Dakota win.
Yeah,
And that's
agreed.
just based on kind of how they've been portraying her versus how they've been portraying Lyra. Now, I could also see it to where, this is how you put Lyra on the map. Like this is her moment that you give her.
Yeah.
I
See,
can
the
see it
reason
both ways.
I agree 100%. If they gave it to Lyra, I would not be surprised
Yeah.
just because of the way that they build her since she showed up. I mean, you had the Women's Queen of the Ring
Mhm.
tournament. I mean, you made the finals. You've been on the
Feel
main
like-
roster for a
I feel like
month.
Becky's best friend for a week or two.
Yeah, I was
You-
going to say the association
you-
with Becky too was a big deal.
Yeah, the association with Becky is a huge deal. I would not be surprised, not one little bit, if she won, and I
Yeah.
would not be upset. I wouldn't. I just think that it's Dakota's turn
Yeah,
for something.
yeah.
You
It's similar to Chelsea Green, I think,
Yeah.
kind of what
I
they're doing.
agreed, and I would put Chelsea and Dakota in the same wavelength as
Yeah.
far as deserving of a championship, especially the first champion of
Right.
a
They've
championship.
been around, they've paid their dues, they
Yeah.
have never been in a position to really capitalize on like the big one. But, this
I
is
mean,
not
hell,
only,
Dakota's been relevant since she showed up with Bailey at SummerSlam
yeah.
3 years ago.
Hmm.
I mean, she's been relevant the whole time. She was out for 6 months with injury, and that's it. She's
Yeah.
been on almost every episode of Raw and SmackDown in between.
Yeah. And Damage Control,
Damage Control ran the show for a year.
interestingly enough, Damage Control is really heating up in a different way right
Yes.
now, too, as faces.
Agreed.
Just because, obviously we're talking about Dakota, and even being in this position, like being in the finals for this is a big deal.
Mhm.
And Io
Io's
is-
hot right now.
yeah, she's going on a hot streak for sure. Again, with the amount of information I have, which is not much, I do see her as a potential Rumble winner.
Io?
Yeah.
I can see
I
that.
don't personally.
The only reason that I have her,
I wouldn't hate it, but I don't see it.
the only reason I have her as an early pick is out of all the women right now, I feel like she kind of stands out on the hot streak that she's on.
Mm-hmm.
And going into Rumble season, that could be an early indicator. Like I feel like in a lot of ways that's what we're missing from the men
Mm-hmm.
is kind of somebody that's heating up and would really benefit from a Rumble win, but obviously that could be due to John Cena or even like CM Punk.
I personally don't think that Io benefits a whole lot from a Rumble win. Personally, this is just me. She won the Money in the Bank. She was the
Yeah.
women's champ for a good chunk of time, and I personally don't think that it helps her to earn another championship right now.
True.
I mean,
Like
I
I
For me,
see
it feels
that.
like it helps her
All it
keep
does
relevant.
for me, it just keeps her relevant. That's it. And
Yeah.
I don't think a Rumble win is needed for that. I think a great run in the Rumble solidifies her where she's at, and then maybe next year you give her another title. But I don't think that a Rumble win and another title give her what I think you're saying. she
So
needs right now.
it's not that I necessarily disagree, because I think that you're right there. However, I'm thinking of this in a world that is absent of, quite frankly, something more interesting, and that gives you at least a good match with somebody who's on a hot streak. Now, this is negated by almost anything else because, again, it's Io Sky, who has been relevant and has been champion recently. And so she wouldn't be my top pick either. But at the same time, I could see it being an option that they take just because, like, I mean, you have a lot of women returning, but, or on the horizon at least, not necessarily by the Rumble. But if I'm Triple H, I'm thinking, does anybody want to see Charlotte, Becky, Alexa, or hell, even Asuka challenge for the belt again at WrestleMania? Probably not.
What about Jade? You think she could just pop in the Royal Rumble and win?
I don't think she's ready for a
definitely-
Rumble win. I think
She's not ready for a Rumble win. She definitely shows back up at the Rumble.
I think that
Yeah.
that's definitely a thing. Yeah.
I just don't know who wins it now. Now I'm thinking about it. I don't know who
On the
wins it.
women's side,
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
women's side.
That's what, I just don't have a better guess.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad. Excuse me. I wouldn't be mad if Io won it. I just don't think that that's the right course of action. I could see Asuka returning and winning it. I think that would be huge.
Out of all the returns, Asuka would be the most palatable, in my opinion. But at the same time, I also
I don't think we're gonna get so. There's three big female returns coming in really quick. I
don't
feel
forget
like
about Alexa.
I just don't. It's so wishy-washy.
Mhm.
Do we really know if she's coming back? There's been.
I mean, she's all but confirmed she's coming back. She's just been teasing as to when and what.
Wouldn't Mommy be a good little feud?
I mean, so let's call it four. Four big female returns coming soon. You got Becky, Asuka, Alexa, and Charlotte. You
Yes.
can't have all four in the room.
No.
I think you get two.
I think 2 is even overkill for how big of a
Two is
return
pushing
they
it.
are.
I think you just need one big one. And
Yeah.
I think the big one right now is a toss-up between Charlotte and Asuka, and I would personally rather see Charlotte come back.
Yeah.
It's just, to me,
That's
again,
my opinion.
Asuka won the first women's Rumble.
Yeah.
She, and I say this as a big Asuka fan, she needs it less than anybody. Asuka can
Yep.
show up and challenge for the belt whenever the fuck she wants.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair does show up
Literally.
and challenge for the belt whenever she wants, and so does Becky Lynch.
Literally.
Alexa
For real,
Bliss is
by the way.
not too far off from that.
Agreed. So
I would be disappointed in a Rumble win from any of those 4 women, personally. But again, I don't know who you go with. Like, I don't know who they're going to challenge. Do they go after Tiffany or do they go after Rhea, who I presume will probably still be the champions by Mania? Because why the fuck not?
If Lyra doesn't beat Dakota, I'm gonna go with Lyra.
Lyra could be a good choice. She
I
could.
think
That's if
Lyra's
she doesn't win.
not a bad choice for the Rumble. I think it really is a great choice.
She has a lot of failures now. If she loses against Dakota, then she's gonna have like more now. Like she didn't win the King of the Ring. She didn't win that title the
I
last time.
personally think Lyra wins Money in the Bank this year.
See, I like that. I do like that.
I don't want Lyra to win the Rumble just because I personally don't believe that they
Built up
can
enough.
build her to that caliber of a match for WrestleMania. So give her a smaller pay-per-view with a really big win with an opportunity later on. So
Yeah, put her in there for an
Build her-
hour and then give her that. I feel that.
you can have like this super slow build. You build her to the point of Money in the Bank, buy Money in the Bank. She wins Money in the Bank. And then you have an entire year to build her to main event status.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did with Tiffany.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Tiffany put on one hell of a showing in the Elimination Chamber last year. She
Yep.
didn't win. Not really that surprising, but they built her slow. They built her slow into Money in the Bank. By Money in the Bank, we were ready for her to do that, and she's held on to it for 6 months. And now she's a champ.
The women
And I'm
never
not mad at it. Yeah. So
Yeah, and she did a great job with her cash in. She had
oh my God, that
probably
cash-in
the
was
best women's cash
fucking
in.
amazing.
That was amazing.
It was good because it had some
Twist.
shit to it. It had
Yeah.
some meat and potatoes to
There
it.
was
It wasn't
layers.
just cash in. Yes, there were so many moving parts to this cash in. You had Nia, you had Johnny Gargano's wife, you
Oh,
had
yeah.
Naomi, you had Bianca. What's Johnny's wife's name? It doesn't
Candice
matter. What's-
LeRae.
Candice
Candice.
LeRae, thank you.
I thought you were being like Cotton Hill and just being like Johnny's wife.
At first I was, but then I actually forgot her name. So, but like she truly is irrelevant. Like the only reason she has a job is because she's Gargano's wife. Like
True.
She's a good
she's
wrestler.
not a
She
good
just-
wrestler. She
Shawn
was
Michaels is
a good wrestler when she was in NXT. She was great, and I loved
Yeah.
watching her. I loved watching Indy Hartwell in NXT.
Mhm.
She's gone. It's
Mhm.
fucking horseshit to me that Candace still has a job and Indy doesn't. And you can ask my wife right now. She's probably going to hear what I'm saying. She's probably going to bust in here and start talking shit that Indy doesn't have a job.
Yeah, I hate
Indy
that
is
shit.
like getting rid of all her wrestling gear. She's done. She's done. She's not going to do it anymore.
I hate that.
Yeah, I
But
hate it
yeah.
too because Indy was so much better than Candace. Candace is a horrible wrestler. I don't care. I hope she sees this. I hope she doesn't cry, but I hope she sees this.
Hope Johnny doesn't see this though. I want him to
I
like.
hope
it.
Johnny does see it because I'll fucking knock that sawed off motherfucker out.
I want Johnny to like us. God damn it!
Nah, fuck Johnny. He's a bitch.
As long as Ciampa likes us.
Bingo.
So
Black-
Ciampa needs to grow his beard back out.
I just don't want it to affect that. My relationship with Tommaso Ciampa. It's important to me.
Hell
I
yes.
believe that. I feel that. But where did we get on this? How did we get here? Oh,
The
we were
Rumble,
talking
the
about-
ladies
we
Rumble.
were talking about Rumble. I don't know who I pick as the Women's Royal Rumble winner. I don't think it's a bad move to have EO win it, but I don't think it's a good move either.
Hopefully, like with the men's, we get a little bit more clarity in the coming weeks of, who is going to be in there and maybe get some stories heated up because
So, personally, I think this was the last week of any kind of wheel spinning
yeah,
until June, honestly.
I hope so. I mean, there'll be
Um,
some in between, like the pay-per-views, obviously, but
I mean, Backlash is just whatever, but everything in between that and SummerSlam is almost all gas, no brakes.
particularly
So-
from Rumble to Mania. I think that's why
Absolutely.
I'm wanting Rumble to get here so fast, so everything.
Well,
really starts heating
you
up.
got to think too. The last couple years, we've had a very definitive storyline that we knew we were getting, and it was easy to read the writing on the wall.
And this is just so open-ended.
This is very open ended, and I'm honestly I'm really excited that I don't have a clue who's going to win either Rumble. I don't have a clue who's going to do what at Mania.
Okay, I got a question for
couple
you.
there's a couple of guarantees at Mania, in my opinion, and number one is Cena's going to have a match, and Punk is going to main event one night of WrestleMania. That's all I got.
Okay,
What's your
here's a question for you. It involves the Rumble. So there's one person who's declared for the Rumble that none of us picked as a winner, even potentially. So let me ask you this. Who's going to eliminate Roman?
Hmm.
Has to be Punk. Oh, where's Punk's favorite at?
Mm.
Man, you could go so many different ways with this.
We still don't know what Punk's favorite is for Paul, man.
So you could go a lot of different ways with this, and it really depends on who ends up returning. I still think Brock is coming back. He's probably not for a while. He's probably not.
I feel like you're teasing him.
They're teasing him a lot.
Because
way-
Paul
the way
even
Paul's
did Cody
doing
Rhodes'
things.
fucking announcement tonight.
Yep, exactly. And then the way Paul talked on Monday,
Yeah, called himself
there's
an
a lot. There's a lot of teasing for Brock right now, and they talked about Brock a lot on Monday.
He was even in
Um,
the premieres, the little freaking video play the package.
But
I think you could go a lot of different ways.
even if
as
Brock
to
returns,
who
Brock, I
eliminates-
wouldn't say Brock eliminates Roman, even if he returns.
I would like to see Roman eliminate Brock personally.
Yeah.
I think that's
I just don't
It's time
see
for him to get screwed over.
I just don't see
Um,
going back to the well in that feud, especially without a title involved.
yeah. So Roman gets eliminated by one of 4 people,
Okay.
and those 4 people are a dead giveaway. He either gets eliminated by Punk, Seth, Drew, or excuse me, Cena
Or Jacob Fatu.
or Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
5.
What if
Or
it's
Solo.
Roman?
You could go 6. You could go
What if-
6.
What if it's Roman, Punk, and Cena at the end? Punk gets his favor, but then Cena eliminates Punk.
Yeah, but what's Punk's favor if he eliminates Roman? I don't see that as a
Eliminate Roman,
favor.
basically just eliminate Roman.
That's not a favor.
Yeah, Roman doesn't go along with this favor.
Roman's not playing that favor.
No, I
Punk's
mean, like,
favor.
Paul helps
No,
eliminate
No,
Roman.
Paul's favor to Punk is going to be something along the lines of "Get me the fucking match."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so that raises the question, does Roman pick up the world title before WrestleMania?
No,
Because it's just, I don't know.
Mm.
There's a lot of ways, man. There's so many ways. It's just not even.
how
It starts not making sense after a while. There's so many
and
ways.
what? Well, okay. So here's the deal: if Roman's going to pick up the championship before Mania, that means he fights Cody at Elimination Chamber and wins, or on a random SmackDown. And I don't see
Yeah,
that happening.
no, the reason I asked that, I mean, because it doesn't make sense, is how does Punk use Paul to get this favor? How do you justify disrupting the main event of WrestleMania for CM Punk because Paul Heyman said so?
I think you disrupt the main event of WrestleMania by making a triple threat.
Yeah.
Like Punk doesn't win the Rumble, Punk doesn't win the Chamber. Punk
But Money in
calls
the
in a
Bank?
favor.
No, Money in the Bank.
Punk,
Nah, Money in the Bank.
Punk calls in a
It has to be
favor
Mania.
the Friday night before WrestleMania Saturday, and whichever night Roman is watching or Roman is wrestling, that's the match.
Yeah.
What's up, Kenny Man?
Good.
That's,
Yeah, I don't know.
so whatever
Like 2
match
weeks ago,
Roman
I
is
was
in,
like
that
set
match
on
is gonna be a
like
triple
Punk,
threat.
but now it's
Or fucking Punk calls in a triple threat for the world title. Whoever Gunther's going to be fighting.
Yeah.
So
You can go a million different ways. And
right.
You go a
Because I was
million
telling
different
Steve the
ways.
other day, we get Punk and Cena year, a Cena Punk year,
Yeah.
like they did that one year. And I think
When
Punk
they
had the
wrestled
world
at all
heavyweight
big
title, and
three?
then Cena had the big title.
Oh, I got you. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is what keeps me interested. Like I truly don't know, and I like it.
It
Like
frustrates.
last year, at this point last year, I had a pretty good idea that Cody was probably going to win the Rumble again, but we also thought maybe Punk might win, maybe Drew might win. But once Cody
Well,
won the
one-
Rumble last year, it was fucking set in stone.
Yeah.
Wasn't
we knew
it Cody and Punk at the last two, or was it
Mhm.
Gunther,
Yeah, it
Punk,
was
and
Cody and Punk.
Yeah, Cody eliminated Punk to win.
Punk said he wasn't getting thrown out by Dusty's kid, and then he did.
yeah?
Little
That's why I kept on thinking Punk would win, but it has to be Cena.
I wonder if they called an audible too because Punk got hurt.
Man, I heard that it was Cody was picked. I read something several different times that Cody was going to win the whole time.
Oh yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's just one of those things you can't help but wonder about,
I choose you, Roman Reigns. Oh, this is some bullshit. I love that. That WrestleMania kickoff show, that was
Yep.
badass.
We're in interesting times.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy that it hasn't happened since we were kids. That they
Even
just
McIntyre mentioned it today. He's like, "This is the best
Yeah.
generational wrestling we got.
Yeah,
Better
is,
than
man.
the '80s, '90s Attitude."
I agree.
Yeah, the
He's kinda
Attitude Era
right.
really didn't have shit on what we got going right now, honestly.
And these people know how to talk on the mic, tell a story.
God,
They know how to
silver
Back in the day, it
tongued
was just you're
bastards.
big and you fucking could throw people around.
Yep.
Said a few words, kiss a few babies, get out of there.
Yep.
Kiss
Now
some
it's the
hands,
whole
kiss some
ensemble.
babies
Kiss Vince McMahon's ass.
That's mainly what it was.
on live television.
And he had to be huge to do it, though. He had to be fucking jacked, like fucking
He
Hulk.
takes steroids.
No. They never took steroids.
That's what that steroid trial just said. They never did it.
Yeah, they never. Well, no, that's not what the steroid trial said. The steroid trial said that Vince never told them to take steroids, and he never distributed them to them.
Yeah.
They just
This
did
was
it.
right.
Okay.
That shit lasted a little longer than everybody expected, but it still went on
It
after
took me
that.
6 months, but I finally finished that series last week.
Yeah. I feel like it was nothing we didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I knew what happened. The last episode, it wasn't even any surprises. It was already shit that we knew.
Yeah, that's what
It
pissed me
was
off
an
about it.
interesting, it was a good watch, and I
It
appreciate
was a good watch. It was a
But
good.
I
way to
just
watch
There's
it.
nothing new.
of it. Yeah.
But most wrestling fans, I would say, are not as invested as the small group of people that we occupy. You know,
Right. Like us, we know everything.
and I'm not saying us three, but like probably the 1% of
Marks.
wrestling fans. Yeah.
That's what we are.
A bunch of fucking marks.
Excuse me.
What?
I don't know what
So-
else I got.
Well, we've only talked about Raw, so we still have some SmackDown.
Well, we talked about
Um,
SmackDown a little bit.
A little bit, just a little bit. LA Knight looking like a straight up boss to start the
Oh,
show.
throw out
He's not
Jacob.
gonna use his inside voice. I'm gonna throw him out.
Hell yeah.
It was great, dude. That was a
That was
good
beautiful.
line. It was a
Yeah.
good line. It was a good move. I knew
I
it
also
was
like
coming
that-
during the match.
Okay, so what I really got out of all that, and I really liked, was it sucks that LA Knight didn't pick the US championship back up, but he wasn't going to. It was Nakamura's first defense. He hasn't had it for a long time. Like, it wouldn't make sense to take the belt off of him already. As sad as I am that they took the belt off of LA Knight to begin with.
Yeah.
What if they get Jacob
happened
to take
tonight-
off the title from him?
What happened
Mhm.
tonight kept LA Knight relevant. It keeps him in the
Yeah.
spotlight. He's now fucking with one of the biggest storylines.
Hmm.
So
Again,
yeah. So that
Yeah.
makes me feel good about, his position.
Damn. Triple threat, Jacob, LA Knight, Shinsuke at Rumble.
Yeah.
no,
That'd be
Probably not
that'd
at
be
Rumble,
fire.
but
because Jacob and LA Knight both have to be in the Rumble this year.
yeah. Yeah.
I do see them having some matches on SmackDown, some singles matches. I would like to see that culminate at a pay-per-view, but I don't think it happens at Rumble. It's too.
I thought it was gonna happen. I thought LA Knight was about to win, and then Jacob was gonna come out and fuck him up after he won.
I
But
think we get LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu next week for
That'd be
round
cool.
1 of this.
I mean, LA Knight's gonna lose, but it'll be cool.
Yeah. because LA Knight didn't technically lose the night. He got interrupted, so he
Yeah.
still has another crack at it. I guess I would
Yeah.
think.
in my opinion.
But if Jacob beats LA Knight, then Jacob has a point. And, hey, I need to be in that match.
I mean,
That's just wishful. That's just wishful thinking.
Yep.
You never know.
There was that god awful women's fatal 4-way.
Yeah,
Bailey
I'm skimming right
versus
through it.
Tiffany is your typical first feud for a new champion. It's whatever. We know how it's going to go. We had 38 tag team matches on the show.
Dude, for real, at least.
Only one of them that was worth a damn was the main event, in my opinion.
Yeah. They're not even real tag teams, except for the Bloodline. But
I mean,
I guess they are real tag teams. I don't think about it because War Games.
ish.
Yeah, we had Jim Uso and Cody. Interesting team. I mean, Jey Uso and Cody are former tag team champions.
Yeah, true.
That's
Those the
gonna be
honorary
a,
youths.
that's going to be a
Honorary
fun fact in a few years.
That'll be a Hall of Fame ring at some point.
Yeet.
Yeet.
You remember when they were drunk?
No,
Oh my God! At
it's
the fucking
time, bro.
press
The behind the
conference.
wheel.
It was
At the
the
press
night they won the
conference.
champions. It was the night they won the
Oh.
tag titles.
I thought you were talking about like back in the day in Florida when they got pulled over
No,
all the
dude.
time.
It was the night. It was the night Jay and Cody won the tag titles. It was fucked
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, they're fucking faded.
You could tell that fucking Jay had been on Cody's bus all fucking night since
Sitting there drinking this fucking vodka.
drinking fucking cognac.
Yeet.
Yeet.
A good
I bet
time.
Cody knows how to fucking party.
I'm sure he does. He's white. Dusty's kid.
He knows how to fucking throw down, bro.
He's from Georgia, man. Them Southern boys. They know about it. They know about that beer drinking shit.
I've seen him drink. Oh, not seen him drink with Jay, but I've seen him drink The Rock, Jay. I bet he gets everybody fucking wasted.
Probably.
You know, The Rock is fucking giving everybody fucking tequila all the time.
Bro, I'm so
I mean,
confused.
that's
He was
all he's
drinking
got to
tequila,
give.
and they let him
They
in his
got in his
truck and
car.
drive off.
Dude,
Who
they
the
let
fuck
Travis-
does that?
they let
Motherfucker
Travis
got in the
Scott
car,
smoke
drove to the house, a little fucked up.
anything
Paid it
goes
off.
in LA.
Oh my
They're trying to be
God.
like his cousins, bro. Get that DUI.
Were they going to
Get
tell
the
The Rock?
DWI. Does The
Probably
Rock still have a
doesn't.
house? Did it burn down this week?
Probably so.
What a way to ask that question.
I'm just saying, dude.
I mean, it's
There was
part
a
of.
bunch of Hollywood stars that lost their houses this week. You know what's really fucked up?
Hmm.
Fucking insurance companies canceled home
Months ago.
insurance policies because of the wildfires in California. So none of those people have home insurance.
You'd think
They're
these
just rich.
insurance
They gotta
CEOs
start it
would
back up.
learn something.
Insurance is a scam, bro. It's all bullshit.
Some rich fucks.
Well, none of them rich people got insurance either. They just got to pay for a new fucking house, I guess.
Now
You
they're
know what's
average.
really going to happen? All them fuckers are going to move to Texas now.
Probably.
It's really fucking annoying.
Well,
What else we have on SmackDown tonight? Oh, we had the Pretty Deadly
nothing good.
Yeah. Fast forward to that.
and the
I kind of
Luchadors.
skimmed
That
it.
was not a good match. The Motor City Machine Guns and A-Town Down Under was a bad fucking badass match.
Yeah, I think A-Town Down Under should go to Raw. I think that's going to suit them a little better at this point.
I think it's way better. That fits what Adam Pearce claims as the whole thing on Raw. So, chaos.
Because I don't know. I'm just kind of over them on SmackDown right now. Whereas I still like them, but I just
Yeah.
they're not doing anything interesting to me.
Mhm.
Honestly, it's hard to be invested in a lot of what's going on with the tag team division, just because, for one, I know Pretty Deadly and Los Garza are not going to win the tag team titles anytime soon.
No.
I don't think Motor City Machine Guns are going to win it back from DIY, at least not right now.
Mhm.
And then you got the Street Profits.
And they're not going to win because they never fucking win anymore.
They're just floating up in the air. Just
And so it all feels directionless right now.
Yep.
It just feels like shit's happening for the sake of shit happening.
They
They
did
do like a
start
tournament.
brewing that Carmelo and Jimmy Uso feud a little bit.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I like that the members of the Bloodline are branching out into different things now.
Yeah.
And, I think that could be a cool way to kind of continue it, if they stay together.
I fully expected Jay to show up tonight, and I'm kind of glad he didn't.
Yeah, I love that Jay is staying out of this shit. He's on Raw. Big Jim's on SmackDown. They're not a tag team right now.
I think we'll get one more run of those guys before they hang them up, but it'll be a year or two.
And I hope that they wait to do that because I think Main Event Jay needs to be Main Event Jay, and I think he needs to main event more.
I think Main Event Jay needs to main event WrestleMania as a singles competitor and win a singles main card title.
Yeah.
You?
I think he has earned that by far.
Just me, Oos.
It's just him, Moose.
Just him, Moose.
Day one ish.
Y'all fucking dumb. But I really want to see Jay do that. I think he deserves it, especially after his last year. Like,
Yeah.
and I mean like WrestleMania to WrestleMania. Like, it's not done yet. So, won his first singles title, had a really good championship run just to drop it to the guy he beat for it, which really kind of irritated me, but whatever. But Jay's coming. I think Jay gets a main level championship in the next 365. Be awesome.
Yeah. You can see that. This time next year, we'll be talking about him being the champ.
I think
champ.
so. I think he's worthy of that, and I think he has a good title run. I'm not going to say he's going to be champion for a whole year, but he'll be a champion.
He literally is the only one that has the crowd standing up, yeeting. I mean, I know nobody else yeets, but like everybody's literally up when he comes out.
Oh yeah, and they're just roaring for him, man.
Oh, nobody else got that
Very,
reaction
it's
right
very
now.
deserving. So
He'll get
we'll
rewarded.
see. But yeah, folks, Raw on Netflix. Shit was crazy. Lots of people watched it. Broke a gate record, obviously, because it's like the most expensive arena in the country right now.
It's all beating Squid Games right now too on Netflix.
Yep.
I mean, that's not that surprising,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
We'll see how
People really like it. I'm surprised.
Wrestling's cool again, bro.
Yeah.
Hell
Well,
yes.
I got nothing.
I'm done.
I think I was that guy
Sleep. I can see it.
flying
See it on his
headbutts.
chin.
That cat's doing flying headbutts and crippler crossfaces over there, guys. So much about it.
He's probably gonna murder me tonight too.
Drew's gonna have about 7 more L's.
Yeah.
Watch an old WrestleMania.
I'm watching oh my god, right now. We got on 2006 Royal Rumble. It already looks weird.
That's a good Rumble.
Right now, it's freaking, I guess, Kelly versus Candace, and Trisha's the ref.
It's weird.
That makes sense.
Or who the fuck is that? I don't know.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
we're going to Rampage. Bad Blood, not Bad
Right,
Blood.
we are.
When's that? Tomorrow?
That is tomorrow.
What's the name of the show? It's not Bad Blood.
Oh, what's his name gonna be there?
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct. The Lucha guys from AEW.
Del Soy, right? Something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll meet y'all there. I don't think I got ish going on.
Doors are at 6. Prima Vista Event Center, Lubbock, Texas. It's gonna be fun.
I get up at 5.
Be there or fuck you.
Yeah, I get up at
There,
5.
be square. You'll be all right. You'll make it on time. Go home, take a shower, get changed, get there by 6:30. You ain't gonna miss nothing.
Sound like a game plan.
I'm gonna have a bucket of beer.
Right now, I know this time I can buy a bucket of beer when I'm there.
Hell yeah.
Drink some bread. Eat some pizza if they have it.
One guy from Italy gonna have that za.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna hit him up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We'll see y'all next week, hopefully. As long as we have an interesting week of wrestling. If it's kind of slow, then we're gonna skip next week. We'll
Has to be fire on Netflix.
yeah.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw has to keep hitting after what they did on Monday.
Isn't that the final with the Intercontinental title women's, right?
Yeah, the women's Intercontinental final is on Monday. We got Penta's debut on Monday. I'm sure I'm missing something.
I don't remember the card for this coming up Monday, but I bet it's gonna be something to talk about.
It's gonna be good.
Hell yes.
Hell
I'm
yes.
gonna take my fat ass to bed.
Me too.
Ladies and gentlemen,